Welcome back. As we earlier said, we're going to be shedding the light over one of the most beautiful governorates in Egypt. A top site it's full of charming destinations. It's a beautiful place where you can visit lots of sightseeings. It's ElFayoum Governorate, and today we're going to be talking about ElFayoum, formerly Medinat ElFayoum, which was the capital of ElFayoum Governorate in Egypt. And we're going to be talking about different sites, very, very important, that is located in Fayoum, to be able to explore it and discover it. With us live over the phone is NAgham Mohamed. She's a tourism expert. Good morning, NAgham. This is Dina Hussein speaking to you. Hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, NAgham. This is Dina Hussein speaking to you.
How are you? Happy to be with you always, Dina.
Same here, NAgham. How are you doing? Today we need to talk about ElFayoum and the different sites inside ElFayoum, the charming destinations. Probably it's one of the most popular places in Egypt when you read about Egypt, and the oldest also. Talk to us about the importance of ElFayoum in the sense of the top attractions. Of course, as we all know, that ElFayoum is full of very, very important sites like Wadi Rayyan, like Wadi Hitain, or Valley of the Whales, and also it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, like the waterfalls, many things that probably some people haven't heard about it who haven't visited Egypt.
Absolutely. It's very good that we discover our own history, our own beautiful land, which is the main target and action that the ministry is working around right now, especially during this closing area, or hopefully it's getting better very soon. And as you said, Fayoum is a beautiful destination. It has a wide range of activities, excursions, around the whole city, around the lake. As you know, and for people who doesn't know, Fayoum is a beautiful oasis that has been since the 12th dynasty, very, very old destination. And it's surrounding with lakes, water areas, so you can really have a lot of experiences around Fayoum. The experiences could be around historical monuments, ruins, activities around the lake. You have the desert, so you can do a lot of adventures. You can bird watch, you can horse ride, back riding, you can have sandboarding, things that are really different and trendy for certain age. You can as well have desert safaris. You can have felucca rides. You can go, if you are a family, it's very known for pottery. You have a lot of other attractions that are historical. As you said and mentioned, Wadi Hitain, which is a preserved area, Wadi Rayyan. You have Greco-Roman history. You have ancient Egypt in general, a lot of small ruins, I wouldn't say full monuments found. You have as well some Islamic, not very old, but it would go on to 1400 years. So you are really having a diversity of things to do around Fayoum, and if you talk about it, it's really interesting. And we have been very concentrating on Fayoum during past days. There was a lot of films around Fayoum because it's a really beautiful destination to talk about.
Right. When we talk about ElFayoum in particular in Egypt, on the touristic map, or on the map of tourism, we find that it holds great importance in the sense of the seasonal tourism. It is a place where you can visit on all seasons and for every tourist. Probably because of the sites, like you mentioned, kindly mentioned, and we need to talk about it in detail, and also because of the different sites that have different histories. Why is that?
If I understand well your question, why does it have a lot of attraction for the tourists?
No, I was asking about the reason why ElFayoum is one of the most important destinations on the tourism map.
Okay. Fayoum has a great history because it was the mainland before having the Egyptians residing next to the Nile River on the delta. So it has a great history. Not only that, as you just mentioned and as we were talking, among the attractions, you have historical Greek-Roman things, you have diversity of preserved areas like Wadi Hitan because it has a great history and a great talk about the history, how was this land earlier and how did it change. It has as well different variety of historical things that could be on different areas of the history, whether Islamic, Greco-Roman, ancient Egyptian. So this diversity makes the land very important. Not only that, you have the diversity of seeing different things. You have around the lake, you could do fishing, you could do bird watching, you could do bird hunting. You have the desert where you could see certain things that not very similar to the rest of the historical areas in Egypt. Being a pottery area, it makes it an activity for the family, and it is sightseeing, and it's known for that. So you have really diversity of things that makes the place very interesting for any tourist. It makes the tourist as well enjoy a lot of things, so whether it's a family, individual, with its variety and its importance and its history as well. And being preserved area, this means by the UNESCO, this means that it is an important area to look and to work around.
Nagham, we need also to talk about not only the UNESCO heritage sites like Wadi al-Hitan or the Valley of Wales, but also the discoveries that were held in ElFayoum, which is the Hanging Mosque that was built when the Ottomans ruled Egypt by Prince Marwan bin Hatem. That is one of also a very important site that some Europeans come exclusively to see.
Absolutely. All these things makes the whole city important for tourists who are interested in Islamic part, tourists who are interested in all Egyptian history, and of course all these discoveries shows how the Ministry of Antiquities are interested to show all what we have. We do have not only a variety, we do have a long history in Egypt that anybody could be interested in, because it's really things that are unique. You have the monastery, Deir el-Malak, next to the Islamic part. You know, it's all interesting things. To have the mix, to have the culture, to have the Egyptian around the Islamic, around the Coptic. So all these things makes it very interesting area and makes the discovery important for Egypt and for the visitors from abroad. And let us talk as well, why don't we concentrate on such things for the local market? Because the local market as well would be interested. There is a lot of Egyptians who are studying the history, studying the Islamic part and so on, and students who are working on art. These are very important things for them to see as well.
Right. Talking about marketing and tourism marketing in particular, and as we are modernizing our plans and our marketing plans for the tourism season, especially that copes with the happenings and surrounding of 2021, how do you think the Ministry of Antiquities could get the best use or benefit from such treasures that are located in ElFayoum Governorate?
Well, this is a very important question right now to address. It's important now that the ministry, not only the Ministry of Antiquities, but the Ministry of Tourism as well, both which is one ministry together, they have first to study and identify what are the obstacles that are around the visits, around including Fayoum into the plans of the travel international, of course, travel agents and local travel agents, in order to build the right or to target the right customer for this destination. If we look into this obstacles, I think we could come up with something that could address Fayoum back and put Fayoum back to the marketing plan. On the other hand, as just mentioning, we need to address things on different levels. We need to address it on the local level and on the international level. The local level has completely different targets. It's maybe a one-day tour, could be more than one-day tour, because we do have a variety of things to be seen. And it's a spot which is close to Cairo, and it's in the middle of Egypt, where you can really visit it, have some studies there, make projects for the students to work around our history, to make it attractive for the families to visit, whether for one day, for more than one day. And you do have the marketing for the international market, whereby you address again, or you put back Fayoum on the plan of the visits. Because right now, there is a lot of visits that does not include Fayoum. Why it does not include Fayoum? Because the trips, the charters, the transportation, having Fayoum out of the media because of the infrastructure that was not available, which is now completed fully. So we have to capitalize on the things that we have worked on. We do have a beautiful or a great now, let's say, safe, clean infrastructure to reach Fayoum. So why don't we capitalize on that? We should capitalize as well that the length of the transport, of the transporting any tourist or including it in any visit is not long. We have to as well identify for the tourists, putting back on the plan some media activities like the filming that we did, whether about Ain Sira, Mami's trip, opening of the museums. These are all activities that should be addressing the international market in order for the tour operators to put now the new plans. And very important that you are very close to Egypt, to the main cities, so you have the airport and you can be transported easily in less than 1 hour. So all these things can be can address Fayoum and put it back on the international market. Let alone that all the international markets now are very cost-minded, so they could easily put an activity for the day which is cost-effective, it's not very expensive, you can see a lot, you can have variety of adventures, as we said, whether you are interested in real historical things, in handmade things like pottery, which is very, very interesting for the international customer to see the handmade things that were made and how is it made today. So it's really a marketing activity. You have the birds, the fishing, the dunes, let alone talking about the preserved areas, as you said. So all these things, we have to capitalize on the social media and on making the real marketing efforts in order to attract back and put back Fayoum on the international map and on the local map, on the periods where the international market would not be going into Fayoum.
Right. On this beautiful note, Nagham Mohamed Ali, would like to thank you so much talking to the breakfast show this morning. Many thanks to all of you, and you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. And I guess we'll be going to a short break, and we'll come to continue the breakfast show, so stay with us.